Good morning, viewers. Welcome to ST Money's Morning News, your weekday business news channel. It's Tuesday morning, September 10, 2024, and I'm your host, Sunil Thakker of Sunny Talks Money. Let's roll. A renewed wave of dip buying spurred a rebound in stocks after a sell-off triggered by economic concerns, with traders now looking to this week's inflation data for clues on the size of the Federal Reserve rate cuts. Wall Street's three major indexes gained more than 1% on Monday as investors looked for bargains after the previous week's sell-off, while they also waited for inflation reports in coming days and the Federal Reserve's next policy decision next week. Traders are coalescing around the idea that the rate cutting will commence next week with a quarter percentage point reduction after Friday's jobs report wasn't viewed as weak enough to lock in a larger cut. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 484 points or 1.2% to 40,830. The S&P 500 gained 63 points or 1.16% to 5,471. And the Nasdaq Composite gained 194 points or 1.16% to 16,885. The Russell 2000 rose 0.3% to 2,098. Advancing issues outnumbered decliners by 2.16 to 1 ratio on the NYSE, where there were 258 new highs and 111 new lows. Economic growth is undoubtedly and clearly losing momentum, but a soft landing remains more likely than a hard landing as this week focus turns back to inflation. Hence, today was mostly technical dip buying. This week's key events include the Consumer Price Index CPI report due Wednesday morning after Tuesday's night's first debate between US presidential candidates Democrat Kamala Harris and Republican Donald Trump ahead of the November 5 election. Wednesday's report is expected to show a moderation in headline inflation in August to 2.6% on a yearly basis, while on a monthly basis it is expected to remain unchanged at 0.2%. The CPI report will be followed by producer prices data on Thursday. According to an expert from TS Lombard, slowdowns do not necessarily portend recessions, nor are stock market corrections necessarily the harbinger of bear markets. But the mix of rising macro growth and political US election uncertainty increasingly puts the burden of proof on the bulls in the near term. In Monday's market action, shares in Apple Incorporated had a lackluster day on Monday, closing up just 0.04% after earlier falling almost 2% after the tech giant introduced the iPhone 16 with upgraded Siri, AI text editing, and photo recognition tools. Shares of market heavyweight and artificial intelligence chip maker favorite Nvidia closed up 3.5% on Monday after falling 15.3% last week. Palantir Technology shares rose 14% and Dell Technology shares added 3.8% after S&P Dow Jones indices said late Friday that the stocks would join the S&P 500. In the benchmark index, these stocks will replace American Airlines Group, which added 3.9%, and Etsy, which fell 1.6%, and Biorad Laboratories, which closed down 2% on the day. Shares for Oracle rose after the cloud software provider posted better than expected quarterly results and announced an agreement with Amazon Web Services. The stock jumped 8.3% to $151.56 in post market trading. Shares have climbed about 33% since the beginning of this year. Boeing shares advanced 3.4% after the plane maker and its biggest union reached a tentative deal covering more than 32,000 workers, averting a possible strike. Alphabet Incorporated sank 1.7% in late hours. Global benchmark Brent crude rose 1.1% to $71.84 a barrel. Gold is $2,507 per ounce. Treasury 10-year yields were little changed at 3.70%, and the dollar gained. That's it for today, folks. See you tomorrow morning. In the meantime, let us know in the comment section what are your thoughts for the market. Happy investing, stay inspired, and remember, it is all about money.